Welcome to the Mindset Mirror Connection podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about body image and how body image becomes a struggle over the course of our lives. We're going to talk about the early childhood experiences that then create our negative body image, and then have you leaving with solutions to begin to recreate your relationship with your body and the image you see in the mirror. So if you're ready, listen up and lean in as we elevate your mind.
You got glasses on today.
I do. I can't find I went into my contact lens case to put my contacts on, and I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention. They're both gone.
I hate when you do
and
that.
they're not in my eyes because
I
I have my glasses on. If they were in my eyeballs.
Have you ever gotten a contact stuck behind?
I think so. I have the weirdest eyeballs. So I can't see out of this eye. That's why it's so thick.
That's a genetic thing, right?
Yeah. It's from my dad. My dad's blind. So I always say I'm a cyclops. One good eye for my mom. Like, look at that.
I know.
It's so wild. Yeah. But
at least they make them now where it's more hidden too. Whereas before, like in the olden days, it was like that inch thick.
I never wear these. So these were like online purchase. They're not anything fancy. So cute. I could get them. I can get them thinner if I wanted to, but I just don't. So you're going to get me in glasses until I get my eye doctor's appointment.
Oh, no.
My prescription was,
of course,
overdue.
Expired.
Yeah. So, and I just put those ones in Vegas at the wedding.
How was the wedding?
Wedding was good.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy because like the day of, so for those who haven't been listening, my best friend got married. I was the matron of honor. My heart rate would not come down. I was so anxious, like to the point where I almost passed out right before we walked, because I was honestly I just wanted it to be perfect for her. And like my body like felt this like crazy anxiety over it. It ended up being perfect. It was so much fun. I mean, everyone was dancing. Like
it looked amazing on it. It just, I wouldn't say it looked amazing like aesthetically, but like from what I saw, because I didn't see the aesthetics, but like the people looked like they had a lot of fun. Like all the videos that were being reposted. Yeah,
she did a great job. I mean, a lot of what
she did a lot of DIY, didn't she? Oh my God.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, the flowers, everything. It was just funny because like us girls did all the setup and the guys were just whatever.
What?
Oh yeah. Only one guy, because she made these really cool arches. Her Frankie, her friend Dom and Emily helped make these really cool arches that they stood under. But we couldn't figure out how to get them up. So her dad brought a 25-pound weight, but if you put it on the arch, like depending, it would fall. So one of the guys finally came over. He's like, does this unscrew? He unscrewed it, put the weight in between it, screwed it back. Anyways, but all the other guys are just watching us.
Seriously?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was probably for the best. I always feel a little bit, because you have different personalities and mine is, really at that moment in time, it was focused on her and like making sure it was her day and like that we were getting pictures because there was no photographer in the like bridal suite.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I just brought my camera.
Yeah.
But there's different personalities and everyone's gonna,
remind me how many bridesmaids she had?
I think there was 7 altogether.
And then, so there's 7 groomsmen too?
There was 6.
Okay.
Or 8 and 7. Yeah. So everyone's great. I mean, I love all of Adrian's friends. They're just so different in the way that we think and act and conduct life. And so
it's always interesting because like I feel like most of the people I surround myself with, especially nowadays, are somewhat similar, right? But then you go to a friend's wedding and you're like, oh,
it's so different.
So different. Like, I'm not saying this is a problem, but like, okay, there's some pink flags here. You're fine. Like, you should probably tone down on the booze.
Right. It's been fun.
Yeah. So you guys had the wedding, but then you guys had plans afterwards, right?
So then it was so crazy. It was so windy. So there was supposed to be this Lover and Friends music festival.
Yeah, I remember.
They canceled it.
What?
Yes. They canceled it due to wind, but her friend Dom, like they put on Bayfest in San Diego, and he was saying
Bayfest.
It's like it's really fun, like reggae festival. You guys should come. Cool. It's really fun.
I'll come when I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, next time. It's so fun. So I was talking to him in the pool, and he was just saying like it's kind of just odd the way that they canceled it. So whatever, who knows? They canceled that. So
we were really excited about that too.
We weren't going.
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
Okay,
we wanted to go, but no. So we ended up, we did a pool party, but the sun wasn't really out. The weather was just strange. And then we went to,
which is odd for Vegas because it's like here, like it's sunny 98% of the time.
Yeah, it was so windy.
Yeah.
And then we went out that night. We went to Old Red's, which is Blake Shelton's bar. A couple of us wanted to go check that out. And our friend Erica like set that up. It was a really cool spot at the top. I just didn't feel good that day. I think because the day before I was so anxious that like, excuse me, I just felt so like bleh the next day. No, I mean, I didn't because I had a speech and I did not want to like, you know, I had drinks throughout the day thinking like maybe it's just nerves, like, you know, and I mean, yes, we had drinks at the thing and we actually ended up staying up pretty late that night gambling with like, there's all different friends.
There's a combination of things because now too, I feel like in that environment, you're using extra energy because you're not like around your friends. You're like, you can be a little bit more you per se, not saying people change, but if you're around people that you don't know, and especially for a friend's wedding, you want to make sure you're engaging, especially as like the matron of honor, because you're kind of hosting in a way. So I bet you some of that too was playing a role.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, and there were so many people I haven't seen in a while, or like she has so many different friends from different friend groups. So, you know, it was exhausting. So I actually went home early that night. I probably got like 10 hours of sleep. Yeah. And then the next day we went out for Cinco de Mayo and that was like super duper fun. And yeah.
And Monday you came home.
Woke up at 6 a.m.
And left then.
Yeah. So
best time to leave Vegas, in my opinion. Yeah. Or 4 a.m.
Like, yeah, I know. That's another story.
God,
I forgot about that. Yeah. What'd you do?
I didn't really do anything. I'm in a very siesta type era of my life.
My siesta era. Moving Mike.
And then because Michael's been gone. So when he's gone, I kind of just do nothing really because like when he's home, you want to go out and do stuff. And the last couple of weekends I've had plans here and there. And because I haven't been feeling so well, it's like doing those plans is like, okay. So I told myself a couple weeks ago, like I'm not intentionally making weekend plans anymore. Like if I want to do something, I'll text somebody, or if someone texts me, I'll do it. But I'm not going to like seek it out anymore because I just don't know how I'm going to feel. And so I've really been trying to honor that.
Good.
And so last weekend I finished a book. It's called, it's really popular right now, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I would, out of a 5 stars, I would give it a 2.5. I know it's not my type.
No?
It's like this mythical, like fairy where my imagination really had to go.
You had to reach.
It really reach. And it doesn't reach very well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to read. And then I started a Ready Player One, which is another kind of sci-fi book that has been recommended to me. So we'll see how that goes.
They have a movie on that.
They do.
Yeah.
So then just laid out a little bit, which was nice.
Yeah.
And, took a nap, did whatever.
Sounds amazing. Sounds like what I should have been doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of laying out, so we had this pool party, you know, and I had one of the worst,
Vegas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the worst body image days
Really?
I've had in a long time. Yeah. I had this suit on that I actually feel really good in, but that day, I don't know if it's because of like, you know, because we had the welcome on Thursday, then Friday we're out, we're eating, you know, and honestly, we didn't eat very much at the day of the wedding. It was just like
shame.
We didn't have the girl who got the snacks. I mean, she did fine, but like I got
Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I need a sandwich, you know,
like a 12-inch sandwich.
Well,
double meat.
Eric and I were like, we need like a sandwich or some crackers or something, but we weren't going to be mean. You know?
Yeah.
So, I just felt horrible and like I couldn't shake it. Everyone's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just having a really like bad body image day. Like, and I said that to people and they're like, but you look great. I was like, I understand. I just don't feel great.
Right.
And it wasn't it wasn't like a pool party that you think in Vegas where like everyone, the surfers are all naked. It was just, we had our cabanas and it wasn't anything. It wasn't anyone else, what they looked like. I wasn't doing it. I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
So finally I was like, hey, Dustin, do you want to come up? And Dustin walked me up because we were kind of far from our room. And I changed into a bathing suit I felt more comfortable in. And so it was interesting. And that's why I thought I'd bring up the topic of body image and kind of like how it manifests. On top of that, I had my photography, the photo shoot photos where I felt really great and like pretty lean. Got those back and I was like, what the fuck, man? Like these don't look like what I saw in my head. And so it's, you know, that happened in the bathing suit thing. And I was just like, wow, like this is the first time in a long time that I'm like, ugh. You know,
and I think that's really common for a lot of women. Well, I don't think I know that it's really common. Like, let me rephrase that. So, and it's unfortunate because, well, let me backtrack you a little bit because I think most women, when these things, so one, they already have most days are a bad body image day. Now we know for you and I, we've worked through that where the days happen and we take them in a different stride than we did back then. So most women, what happens is bad body image. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's constantly perseverating in their mind. That's all they can think about. When they go to the pool, they think everybody's looking and judging their body when actually, like, so similar to you, like they're all looking at you going, you look fine.
Right.
Like and then they're trying to seek that validation. But what I don't think a lot of women understand is that they're trying to seek the validation of, I tell my husband, I don't like feel like I look sexy today. Or my friends like, oh, don't mind me. I just look like shit today. Yeah. And then the friends go, oh, no. And they hope that makes them feel better, but it doesn't.
No.
And to me, when they do that, it's like, what are you looking for in that moment? Because you know, like your husband's going to tell you you're hot and Dustin's going to tell you you're hot and all these people but that's not going to solve the problem that's coming.
Right. Well, I think too, and this, in my case, I just didn't feel good.
Right.
Like, for me, I knew it was a body image thing where a lot of women will make it a them thing. Right.
Yes.
However, I think what we do, and there's a good amount of research on how women together enjoy living in the misery of their body. So they'll actually bring that up to other women.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I'm surprised by that. I shouldn't be.
Yeah. I forget the name of it. But
misery loves company,
basically,
AKA body image,
right? Yeah. Well, and they say that most women, like they will together, live in, like, have these conversations about how their bodies don't look, what they're not, what their bodies don't look like, not what they look like.
Yeah, like Mean Girls. Remember that scene where she's like, "I don't like
they
my
live
hips.
in misery together." Like you're saying.
It's like, I don't like my elbows.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So there is this comfort in hating our bodies together. So I think when women say, especially to other women, like, oh, I'm just feeling like crap, so they're hoping they say me too, which we do. Yeah, we do say that.
Yeah.
In my case on that day, it was so strange. It was really like, and like you said, like I'm aware of it. So I said, instead of sitting here and feeling like shit, I'm going to go change my bathing suit, and it was the bathing suit that I felt better in. And,
or like, I think even sitting there feeling like shit, or even like what I notice is women will do is try and hide, is they'll start like being in the back of the like photos, or they'll be like you guys got cabanas. So they'll sit like in the back of the cabana. They won't really go out when everybody else is in the pool. Right. And it like, they'll isolate themselves, and then that makes you feel more alone.
Absolutely. Well, I was talking to my friend about it, and she's got some stuff going on that, again, same thing, like, as she's getting older, her body is changing. And she says, finally, I had to just accept it. She said, I love my life. Like, I have great family, I have great friends. Like, if I get to travel, I get to do all these things. If this is,
the trade-off,
the problem, then it's, that's the one thing I have to, just accept, because everything else is good.
Right.
And it's true. I mean, I feel like that in my life and in your life too, it's very much, I'm not as aesthetics focused. I'm focused more on like being healthy, lifting, getting very strong. Now, obviously, when I do things like photo shoots, we've talked about, I will cut, and I usually align them with something like a trip. But it's just been creeping up lately, and it's something to think about, of like how, like, in our program, we're always thinking about like what's underneath that, like what's going on, how did this start? And I think for us, talking about it today will help a lot of women understand, like, wow, like I am punishing my body instead of punishing this entity, this
society, almost.
That is culture that has designed or created this idea that I should punish my body. We're not looking at why we're there. And so body image itself is just like your thoughts and feelings and perceptions of your body.
Yeah.
Now we can have very positive thoughts and feelings and perceptions about our bodies, but unfortunately for most of us, we've been objectified in some way. We'll talk about our first experience of objectification, but the self-objectification is when it can become very negative, where I'm looking at myself from this external perspective rather than being in my internal self. So now I'm looking at myself from the outside in based on what culture, society, my family, whoever has told me that I need to look. Yeah. And that is a disconnect from actually who I am.
Right.
So my body and the way it looks from the outside becomes my worth. Yeah. And that's where it becomes a big issue. And that's for the majority of the clients that we work with.
Right.
That's what they struggle with. And so, I hope that people can leave today, like really understanding, like we have to stop being this object.
Yeah.
We have to start knowing that we are good, not just our body is good. Right. So to start off, I mean, for me, I didn't realize that anyone was even looking at my body until probably age like 3rd grade, 4th grade.
Yeah.
Which
I would say is pretty young, but in the environment you were in sports wise or athletic wise is pretty common.
Right. Well, and then it didn't even happen in dance. It happened in a recreation center that I went to after school, where this boy made fun of my chest because I was not developed. Yeah. And I was wearing this shirt that I loved.
And I weren't blessed. Right. We were blessed in the ass, not the boobs.
Yeah, it's fine. No, but I bought this shirt myself and I really enjoyed the colors of the shirt and the style of the shirt. And I remember him saying that to me and feeling shame for the first time. Like, wait a minute, I didn't realize anyone was looking at me like that. And to think about it today is crazy. I was talking to my parents about too. My mom cut my hair really short. At some point she said it was because I wouldn't let her comb my hair when I vividly remember she would pull because I have naturally curly hair.
Yeah.
But then I remember that too, people being is that a girl or a boy?
Really?
Yeah. It was so painful. I think about it now, I want to cry, people started to they start labeling you. They start judging you. Yeah. Obviously bullying, stuff like that, this particular kid that stuck with me. So what would you say is the first memory you have of realizing, other people are looking at my body? It's something to be looked at by others.
I mean, I think there's a faint distance of memories of middle school, but I think that was more so of the way if I'm going to really think about this, it was more so the way the other girls were starting to dress. Right. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't thinking, people are looking at my body, I should change how I dress. It was more so socially, we're changing how we dress. We need to do that. But there's a distinct memory in high school. So a little bit later of where one of the boys had commented on my thighs. And I remember being and I had already had an insecurity about my thighs because when I was younger, I would have to buy boy pants because the girl pants at the time were a certain style and they didn't fit. Or if they did, I had to buy them super large and then we had to go and get them altered, which was more annoying. Yeah. And in the legs, because that was before the short and the long came out.
What's up, guys? Quick interruption from our show sponsor, the Mindset Matter Coaching, and an invite to you to our absolutely free webinar mastermind on rewiring your mind, breaking free from compulsive eating and overtraining. In this webinar, you will get access to me, Coach Christina Hathaway, licensed mental health therapist, certified personal trainer, and nutrition coach, to walk you through every single step of the mindset method. But more importantly, you get to share your story. You get to share your struggles, and I get to coach you during this mastermind. And so if this is something you're yes, I would love to be coached by Coach Christina, I want you to check out the show notes below for our registration. The webinar will be on May 16th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I would love as many people as possible to attend. If you do attend live, we also will be giving away a free gift. So it's always a plus for you to be there. Obviously, again, I get to see your face. So again, that's May 16th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Now back to elevating your mind.
So I had already had that insecure, and that was from elementary school that we started buying boy pants. And probably in my mind, I'm thinking of it happened more than it actually did, but when you have 3-4 pants, or every year you're kind of trying on new clothes because you're growing, it's a vivid memory. And so in high school, I remember that comment and thinking like, oh, like, well, I can't, like, okay, so now how do I fix my thighs? Right. Because at the time too, again, going through body image, the different styles of body that are accepted.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
was that thigh gap era?
Yeah. Well, it certainly wasn't big thigh era.
Right.
Like big thigh era didn't come until
now.
like college and now.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember that distinctly. And then, okay, so you go through college, and I don't really know if I was thinking about body image so much then, because I think I was just honestly stoned a lot. Like,
yeah.
Well, I went to NAU.
It's helpful.
And, yeah. So, I mean, I obviously am very successful. So, but where it started really resurrecting is going into the training sphere, or CrossFit. Actually, I would say CrossFit again, because then I wanted my body to show the hard work.
Oh,
so
that's
then my
a big
body image
thing.
came in there. Yeah. So I'm doing all this hard work. I'm working out 7 days a week. I'm going for hours, and then I'd go for a run, and then I eat really paleo. So then I wanted my body to show all of that. And then, okay, kind of settled there. Then training clients, it started resurrecting again, the body image.
And that's another thing, is that idea that you have to look a certain way if you're a trainer.
Yes.
That your body is your business card. And for me, I was always fit. I remember in high school, I had tried out for the varsity dance performance dance team in 8th grade. And over the summer, I had to learn a dance for the freshman, like not open house, like the freshman, like incoming class, Dilio. I don't remember what it was called. And so welcome freshmen, that was what it was called. And we had to dance, and it was this big deal because I was the first freshman to like make this team. So like, even like when we came out, when there was a freshman on the team, and I remember being with these upperclassmen and like, getting ready, we're practicing, and I had a sports bra on, but I took my shirt off, and they were just like, oh my God, like, do you do crunches every night? Like your stomach is like so flat. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like I dance 5 days a week for, 3 to 4 hours a day. And I just remember, oh, okay. Like I'm fit. That's not the word at the time. And then it became like, I have to always stay fit, even though the funny part about that is it was also made fun of for being fit.
Yes.
So like I could look like having a 6-pack was good, but having like delts and like broad shoulders and triceps and biceps was bad.
Yeah.
And so I would do things. Oh, and trap muscles. My trap muscles are huge. I would do things to cover that up while enhancing other parts. And it was just this kind of like Tetris game of what parts I showed, what parts I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I get into this industry, and it's, I've been leaner than I have been now. And you think that's what people want to see. Like, what are they thinking when you are at this, at the next year's party and you don't look the same, But
well, because they think, oh, she's the personal trainer. I thought she was a trainer. And it's like, well, yeah, but I mean, there's again, our message is there's a lot more than just your body.
Right. Exactly. And so I wanted to talk about kind of how this manifests.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah. And want you guys, this is a great book. It's called More Than a Body. And this metaphor I'm going to share with you is from that book. And I think they do a really good job of helping people understand how they're kind of pulled into what they call the sea of objectification. So as children, we start at the more than a body beach, because as children, we would play, our stomachs would be hanging over, making sandcastles. We may be a little stinky, maybe a little hairy. Like we don't give a shit. We're just enjoying our life on the beach, looking out in the ocean, and have no idea about our bodies. I had a client say the other day, it was a really great reframe for her. She said, I just started thinking about what you said about that like little part of me. And now when I have a really hard thought, I think, what would 1-year-old me want? Because 1-year-old me or 2-year-old me has no idea about their bodies, right? And I'm talking for those, who maybe a good chunk of you have not experienced like abuse in that early of age. Maybe you have, but I'm talking to the majority.
Yeah.
So So you're at this more than a body beach, and you look out into the sea, and in the sea is your mom, your sister, your aunts, your friend, your friend's parents, whoever. And these women are in this sea of objectification. And as you get older, through culture, society, and the things you're about to talk about, you start to kind of make your way towards the water, right? So the water's kind of coming up on your feet. So the way they explain it is you either walk in, you're kind of pushed in, or you're tsunamied in.
Mm-hmm.
So walking into the sea of objectification is maybe checking out your mom's Cosmopolitan magazines,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or seeing a show, or even you think of Disney characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
plump.
Yeah. And if they were like a funny character or
the fairy godmother.
I was just thinking that. Yeah. Fairy godmother. So you kind of are exposed slowly. So you just kind of walk into the sea of objectification. The second way to get there is kind of being pushed in. Maybe you had like a cat collar, like walking home from school, or bullying, like people making fun of your body. More direct against you would be kind of a push you into the sea. And a tsunami would be something like sexual abuse in early childhood, because obviously that is the most harmful exposure to people. Not only looking at my body, but I'm an object to people. So we tiptoe in, we get pushed in, or we get tsunamied in. And now we're in the sea of objectification, and everyone we love in regards to, the females around us are there too. And we're just waiting. We're waiting. Our heads are kind of like above water, and we need to kind of figure out how to survive in the sea of objectification. So we create a raft. We find a raft of some sort, and that raft becomes how we survive, quote unquote, survive in this sea. So survival, in the way they explain it, becomes yo-yo dieting, right? Becomes exactly what we're talking about. Sitting around with my friends, pinching things. I could look better, this, that. It is constant exercise. It is basically recreating our relationship with our body based on what the culture that just pushed us into the sea is telling us. Okay, well, now you're here. Right. We got you. Right. We're going to keep you here. Right. And you're just going to be, kind of waiting on this, or what's the word? Waiting? Like treading water. Okay. Thank you. Treading water, and just to survive. And treading water here is, again, the yo-yo diets, the talking shit to your body, the negative, thoughts, overtraining, all of the things. And so you're kind of just floating in this ocean. So that's the way they explain it. And I think that it's really important to talk about that last piece, because what we don't realize is that everything we do to change our bodies has been created through this ideal that women need to look a certain way. And no one's actually saying, well, wait, that's not true. Yeah. And obviously a part of our program is helping people to feel their best in themselves. But when we help someone to lose weight, we are first helping them recreate their relationship with their self-worth. How many clients of yours thought, oh, if I was this size, I'm going to be confident?
The better question would be how many clients of yours did not have that thought? Because I can think of maybe 2 that have not had that thought out of the 100 plus that I've had. Right. So yeah.
No, absolutely. It's so common for people to believe, like, I'm going to feel worthy. I mean, that's really what they're saying when they say, I want to feel confident.
When
I
get
good
there,
in my
it'll
body.
feel better. Like as soon as I'm 137.2869, I will feel good. And I'm like, but here's the thing is probably not, because even when you reach the 137.2, whatever, you're going to want the 136 and then you're going to want the 135. Like, so at what point then are we keep going? Because now I know how good I feel here. And honestly, from my own experience, you get the image of the body that you've been seeking, but you don't recognize it.
Oh yeah.
Because going back to like the body ideal. So, okay, now even if I'm this Fitbit that looks lean, looks great, everybody's commenting, I can still find something that's still not good enough based off of these perceptions that were created by my environment, like you talked about. So household, by friends and their discussion, by outside influences, so like social media or magazines or movies, TV at the time, by did I say family? Yeah. So your mother, your daughter, your aunts, your grandmother, sisters, all of that combined still doesn't outweigh that image that you have finally reached.
Right. Well, and the problem with that is people will say, I want to feel better in my body.
Right.
But what they are doing to feel better in their body is outside of their bodies.
Right.
And that's where the disconnect is. Feeling better in your body. And like I said, it's not about positive body image. Not saying my body is good. It's saying I am good. There is a big difference between those two things.
Yeah.
But we, again, culturally will say, no, you need to look a certain way in order to be good. But we never actually dissect where did that come from.
Right.
Because you and I both know there are people out there who are gorgeous, fit as fuck, and they suck at life.
Yeah.
You know, there's people who are.
My girlfriend calls it pretty people problems.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's true. Well, and not even that. I mean, I know one person particularly, like if you looked at her, women would be like, oh, I want her body. Like, talk to this bitch for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to do with her.
Well, you know, Piper was telling me there was some girl that she knows that she's friends with. And I was like, oh, send me her Instagram. Like, cause you want to see for context, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, I mean, she looks good. She goes, yeah, that bitch doesn't fucking eat.
Yeah.
But she's a trainer and she's promoting like her body, like work out with me for 6-pack abs and all this, that kind of stuff, the catchy stuff. And you look and it's like, she looks amazing. But then I'm hearing her friend tell me, actually, this is her reality. And it's funny because one of my clients right now, she is working so hard and she's one of my in-persons. She's working so hard to unravel everything, but she's got this mother-in-law so the mother-in-law last week posted on Facebook, like these kids that run track in high school and they're overweight. And she was like, and she said on the caption, could you imagine these kids are actually running track? And so my client, she's like, you know, she's saying that about high school boys. Like in high school boys, like they haven't gotten their lean body yet, right? Like then they're growing. And she's like, so what is she saying about me?
Right.
Or she'll make comments about like the other daughter-in-law and how great and thin and all this stuff she looks. But the other daughter-in-law is like over-exercising, not eating, very concerned about her weight. Like there's a lot going on there. And so it starts coming into my client's mind.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very hard for her, and understandably so, to create that like barrier and be like, this is not a me thing. This is not a me thing. This is not a me thing.
Yeah. It's interesting because like I've experienced that too in that age, like of a parent or whoever it is, you know, the older generation where they literally will talk about bodies directly. And you're like, what do you say about me? But then it's like, well, you're always fit, you know, and
like you get a pass.
Yeah. But I'm like, well, then no, I have to stay this way for you to not talk shit about me.
Fit?
Yeah. My sister-in-law we talk about this often. And so it's, it can become just,
I think, bombarding.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a great word for
bombarding because even on the flip side, going back to, you had mentioned the phrase body positivity. So I think, okay, so now we're bombarded by these negative images, but now on the flip side, we're bombarded by these positive body images, things of you should be at health at any size and that type of scenario. But again, that's making your body, your external piece, the positivity that you seek.
Right.
Not the internal piece that's really going to solve it, whether you're body positive or your body negative, just body neutral. So I think either way on this spectrum, like there's no winning, right? And it's like talking about yo-yo diet. Okay, crash course dieting because of the negative. And now I'm yo-yo because I'm so positive. So it doesn't matter what I eat because I'm going to be body positive. It's like people don't wake up body positive. They don't wake up going, I love myself every day.
Well, and let's talk about that, because if we're truly trying to change our relationship with our bodies, we have to begin to respect our body. And that's what we do. So people might be listening, but wait, don't you guys actually help people change their bodies? Yes. But we do it from a place of self-respect.
Yes.
Not self-punishment, nor letting just anything happen.
Right.
We do it in a way that says, if I know that I need to move, that's healthy for my body.
Right.
And specifically with us strength train,
Yeah.
because as women, that, you know, you can look at episode 3, what all the benefits are for strength training, bone density, obviously being able to move in space freely, you know, limiting injury, obviously getting stronger, higher metabolism. So I know I need to do that, but I also know out of self-respect, I need to rest.
Yes.
Right. I'm not only sitting on the couch. I'm not punishing my body. I'm doing both. Same is true for the food that you eat. I know that my body needs nutrient dense foods. It will literally seek them when you don't receive them. I also know that I need to eat pleasurable foods because I enjoy a slice of cake, or we got crumble cookie this weekend.
I had a cookie before my salad today.
Yes.
I was like, ooh, a cookie. And then I was like, but then I'm going to have my salad.
Right. And like I cut them up and I have like a little piece and it's great. And I enjoy it, but I'm not going to eat the whole sleeve of crumble cookie. Right. We still have it in there. I got it on Friday, you know, and we're both eating it. So it's for me, it's not body positivity. It's body respect.
Yeah.
You know, and
we
then
should make a shirt.
Yes.
That's another shirt we should make.
We got 3 shirts. I like it. What was our second one? I was just listening to our last podcast. So we have professional worker outer. Baby steps to baby. And then body respect. Yeah, it's body respect. And part of being like having respect for your body is to actually fucking live in it.
Yeah. Well, to be present in it.
Correct.
Too. Yeah. Not to like project into the future and think, okay, I'm going to do all this stuff, or to shame yourself in the past for like, so for example, having the cookie today or the cookie whenever, is to continually shame myself. Like that's not going to change your body either. Like, and if it did, I would be very sexy.
Right.
I would be.
We would all be real thin and fit if shaming worked. That's hilarious. It's true.
I told a client that the other day.
Yes, it's so true. That's so funny. You know, it is shame. Let's talk about the difference between guilt and shame.
Yeah.
Guilt is I did something bad. Like I did something against my better judgment and it was the wrong decision. Whereas shame is I am bad. I have worked against my values, my morals, my character is wrong because I ate a fucking cookie or I missed a workout. Like, do you guys not hear that when I'm saying that? Like, say it to yourself. I'm bad because I don't wear a size 6. I had a client reach out. She did photos. Now, she was injured for a good part of this past 2 months. She tweaked her hip and we pulled back on movement naturally. Now, her photos, obviously, she didn't gain any weight, but she didn't look, you know, her progress was slower.
Yeah.
And also she went to try on clothes. So my first interest, like I had to go up in a size. I go, well, let me ask you some questions. I said, is this a brand you've tried on before? Because she hadn't. Yeah. And cause like, I know like Express, like I know exactly what I wear in Express clothes. Cause that's usually where I'll buy clothes from, or Shein, or like Fabletics, you know? So I'm either between a small and a medium, or Express is hilarious. I think I can fit into a size 2 in Express. So, and I'm not a small human.
No, that's so because that's funny. So actually, on Friday I went to Viore because I've had gift cards from Viore, and I'm like, okay, like I want some new stuff. So I went in there and I did my best shopping skills when I have a crunch time because I'm in, out, I'm like, yes, no. Yep. Whereas if I have no time, I'm like, I'm not sure. And I'll talk myself out of stuff a lot.
Same.
So I go in there and I'm like, all right, so I get pants, shirts, sports bras, everything, because I don't have no idea what my size is. And so I usually get like small, medium, depending. And then pants, I usually end up getting large, medium, depending. So I am so glad that I've worked on my body image and the realization that clothing brands are so inconsistent because I put on there's a certain pair of Lululemons that I like. The other ones I can't because they do like the rolly thing on your thighs. You know what I mean? Where it like cuts into them. Yeah. There's a certain, so I'm like, okay, I got those. And so I'm like, let's try on some Viore pants because I've heard amazing things about them. I put those suckers on. I had an extra large. They were gripping my legs.
No.
Gripping.
Yeah.
But then on my waist, they were huge. And I'm, again, a bigger waist right now because I'm pregnant.
Right.
And I was like, I literally can't go up a size because of my waist, but I need to go up like 3 sizes because of my pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I, let's take the pregnancy thing out of it, right? So if that was Amanda, we'll say in 2019, we'll kind of, I would have lost my mind because I would have been like, my thighs are so fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
I need to figure this out.
Yeah. No, my Viore shorts are really tight on my thighs.
That's it. And even the shorts I got, they are bigger on the waist. So I thought, oh, that's good because then I can grow the bump into them. But the short, I'm like, they fit nice on the thighs, but my Lord, like,
well, yeah. I mean, there are brands of clothes that I'm an 8'10", and there's branded clothes I'm 2'4". Like, and we've got to just. And I told her, and this is something you guys can take away. I said, look, next time you go shopping, I don't want you to look in the motherfucking mirror. I want you to put that outfit on. I want you to kind of dance around.
Yeah.
Is it
comfy?
Is it comfy?
Sit in the jeans?
Yeah. Do you feel good in them? Like, walk around, see how you feel, and then turn around in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because don't even look at the size.
When has a dressing room mirror ever been beautiful for you?
Fluorescent lights.
Like, yeah. And and they usually have it dark around, and they got the curtain. The carpet's gross. Like, tiles,
cellulite.
Yeah, like they're everything that you.
Whose idea? That's got to be a man's idea.
Well,
let's put fluorescent lighting in the
in the dressing room, like right in your face too. And so it's again recognizing, okay, so these external figures like you're talking about and the environment. So our family is not there, our friends are not there, but the environment can change your perception of your image.
Oh, 1,000.
And then you're re-influencing it by going into this setting. So not only do you have the clothes that don't fit the size that you think you are, but now you've got this fluorescent light beaming on you and you feel like shit. And then the attendants, are you okay? Can I get you anything else? And you're embarrassed because you don't want to ask her for a larger size.
Exactly. I always take multiple sizes in. Yes. Why? Just where I heard a gal say this, Caroline something. She's over 50. She like dresses on Instagram. I fucking love her. She said something really cool the other day. She's like, I'm getting dressed to go pick up my kids because going to pick up my kids and visiting them at school is a special occasion. Like, it's something that I need to be getting dressed for. And I just thought that was, anyways. So she was saying, like, just wear the fucking larger size.
Yeah. Thank you.
Over it.
Get over it.
Like, it means nothing about who you are. No one at your eulogy. I literally just made a post of a quote. Nobody at your eulogy is going to be like, well, she was so great. She was a size 2.
Yeah.
No one cares.
I told a client one time because now she's a very lean figure just in general. And so I was like, okay, we got to put on like muscle because she is a runner, which means you're going to gain weight and it's okay. So we're not going to measure ourselves. Let's just do pictures. And so her big thing, she would not wear shorts, would not. So uncomfortable. So actually I've done this with another client. Shout out Erica.
Hey.
So of like, okay, you're going to buy a pair of shorts or whatever shorts you've got. They can be ugly scrubbies. I don't give a shit, but you're going to wear them for an hour every day in your house. Yeah. So starting there, right? Because eventually with this other client, the lean gal, she's a mom and she wanted to be able to go to the pool and wear a swimsuit and work on that. And I was like, well, you can just jump in the swimsuit, but you haven't like really conditioned yourself to be like, oh, I'm in a swimsuit. Whereas if you just put the swimsuit on and you haven't done anything to condition yourself, you're going to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
But she felt like the swimsuit at the pool, oh my gosh, people are going to look at her body. She's this way. I said, they're not looking at your body going, wow, she must be a great mom.
Right.
Because of her body.
Right.
Right. They're going to see how you interact with your kids. And that's what's more important.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree. And again, those are the things that actually matter. And so if you're there or you're listening, you're like, okay, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do here? Number one, we have to begin to get angry towards the society that has made the way we look about our self-worth.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with your character, your values, your morals. Now, yes, one of your morals may be health, but we need to even dissect the word health. If I am punishing myself, talking negatively to myself, am I really fucking healthy? No. You are mentally unhealthy. So we have to create that place of respect. What does respect look like to you? How can you begin to get closer to that gray area between punishment and, free for all? How do we get closer to that middle area of, I will begin to treat myself with respect today. So maybe that's what you start with. Every day you keep a commitment to your body that is out of respect. It could simply be, I will today drink, a bunch of water because that's respectful to my body. That's easy. I can start there.
Mm-hmm.
I drink water because my body needs water, right? And so I drink my water, but also out of respect for myself, because I enjoy a Diet Coke, I'll have one every, 2 every week, right? So not only am I drinking the water because my body needs water, but I enjoy a Diet Coke, and that's respectful to me too. Don't come at me about Diet Coke. People are like, aspartame.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
We're not that podcast.
Well, and also that is not the hill I'm going to die on.
No, God,
like,
no. So finding a way to, and maybe it doesn't even start with an action. Maybe it starts with a thought.
Yeah.
I have a client who we just did a neutral statement, because neutral statements aren't these, big affirmations. It's, I have strong arms to pick up my aging dog, right? I have strong legs to be able to squat and play with my kids on the ground. And those are neutral statements, right? And those, my aging dog and being able to pick her up means a lot to me, right? It has nothing to do with the way I look. It means I can take care of my girl who,
right.
Or I can play with I don't have kids, but I can play with my kids because
Right.
that's important to me. Your body allows you to do that. And it doesn't matter. Yes, in certain bodies, that's going to become harder.
Right.
And that's where the respect aspect comes in, is figuring it out. That doesn't mean you're going to be this slender, sleek thing. Just being able to move comfortably
Right.
and freely without strain or stress, and being able to do that while also not killing yourself doing it.
Right.
So
that's what I was going to make that point too. Is I think most people's mind there went to a larger body of the limitations of getting up and down, but I was thinking opposite of that, of the overtraining body, the undereating body, of being constantly injured where we can't get up and down, or we're so tired and fatigued, or respecting my body in the sense of, are we respecting your time? Because that's a thing too, of body and time, because if we're constantly going to the gym. So I'm thinking of your client, Rachel, right? Where she's taking away from her time with children because of the gym.
Right.
Right. So that's not really respecting her values, which can come from your body image too. So what I mean by that is your values, which are more important in a way of seeing yourself more positively than what your body's doing. But she's using body to make her values present.
Correct.
So I thought of that more so too. So you had, and you alluded to it, but I really want to hone in on that of, it's not just one spectrum or one end of the spectrum. It's also the gal that thinks this isn't the thing, like that. The body image is going to come from the exercise and the nutrition part that she's excessively doing.
You will never,
yeah,
feel good in your body through external means and changes. It will not happen. Guess what the word is there? Feel. Unless you recreate the way you think about yourself, your relationship with your worth and your existence, you will never, no matter the diet, believe me, I've had a full-blown 6-pack, lean as fuck, and I still didn't feel it. I had to do the work on myself.
Me too.
Me too. And it's still, as we started this, it's still a work in progress, but at least in that moment, I wasn't saying I'm bad. I was saying I'm having a bad body image moment. It was really a moment, because then it changed once I put the other swimsuit on. And honestly, if I think about it now, the swimsuit that I was wearing was a bit more revealing than I like. I'm not a modest person. I definitely dress for my age, dress a little bit more younger, but it just went kind of low here. And I think low that was a big part of it, because it had a cutout right here.
Yeah. So it's a little close to my vajayjay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that really was where it came from. But I cannot stress this culture of exercise, change your body, there's this misconception, this fantasy false narrative that once you get to that place, you will be confident. You will feel better in your skin. Those are all lies, and you all know it because you've done it over and over again, getting the same exact result of this is not enough. I'm not good enough. And then we punish ourselves either through throwing it all away or, because we were so restrictive, we have to go back to a way of eating that makes sense for us. But because you've been punishing yourself, you think, well, see, I am a failure. So all that's doing is creating that all or nothing mindset, right? And so really, if there's a takeaway here, it's knowing what is behind, like what are the thoughts and feelings, where it was created, and then beginning to
I was thinking, I was like, man, our program is so perfect. And I don't mean that as like a drop in there, but I was thinking of like, oh, the know, name, nurture, nourish. Like, that's pretty much what we do. Yeah. Like the know, let's bring awareness to it. Okay, so where did it come from? The environment, my mother, sister, XYZ. Name it. Okay, now we're able to identify it.
Like, what are the thoughts you say to yourself?
And now what do we do moving forward with this information? How do I notice and bring aware to it? Okay, so now I'm slowly saying these negative things less and less and less. And then how do I keep cultivating that for long-term success? And again, I think what I really want the audience to hear is we get it. We understand. We are just we're years ahead now.
Correct.
And now we're able to reflect back and see like, oh, that wasn't really helping. Oh, that wasn't really helping. And so, but it doesn't mean that you won't ever experience it again. Like you just did when you have gone through it. Like, it's going to happen again. But the point is, does it happen does that moment get more concise, which is a positive? Am I able to better reflect and see where it's coming from and why? Yeah. So you were like, okay, I'm tired. I've been out of sleep. I've got this whole wedding thing there was a lot going on. And then am I able to move forward and change like my outfit or the way I'm seeing myself or the way I'm talking to myself, or just kind of neutrally go, okay, well, it's a day.
Exactly. It was a day. And the cool thing about once you begin to experience life in a different way is when it does show up, you're more aware.
Yes.
Like if I didn't have the experiences that I have now and the ability to live outside of this, like you have to look a certain way, state of mind, I wouldn't have known that I was having those feelings. I would have that would have been my subconscious. I would have been subconsciously walking around feeling like shit, just thinking it was me. There was something wrong with me and so on. So
well, even I could say that about Viore when I went there. Like, okay, well, obviously my thighs are bigger, and I could have brought pregnancy into it. Like, oh no, am I gaining too much weight now? Like all of that stuff. But I'm like, no, these are just not the right leggings for me.
Exactly.
Totally okay.
Yeah. So I hope you guys can take away from that. Again, it's not about your body being good. It's about you as a person being good and starting to fight back against the ideals of, punishing your body, restricting food only to look a certain way, with the hope that that confidence, that feeling that you're trying to achieve will come at the end. It will not. You have to recreate your relationship with the self and your self-worth. Get off of that raft, get onto the shore again, and just be accepting of where your body is at any given time. Because honestly, anything can happen. You can literally get an illness where your body is not working. My dad is stage 4 cancer. His body is covered in a fucking rash because of chemo or because of treatment. But the payoff of living is better than having this rash all over his body, right? You could get, obviously with aging, there's things that our bodies are going to do that we just have to be accepting of and find that respectful version of our body at 40, at 50, at 60, in pregnancy, postpartum, accepting where we are. Stop fucking comparing yourself to younger you. You are not that person anymore. And when we do that, again, all we're saying is not only because that younger you, I'm sure you still didn't feel a sense of self-worth, but now it's diminishing even more because you're getting older and things are changing. Or like I said, maybe you have an illness, maybe you have, an injury. So if we can get to that mindset of self-respect, being able to fight back against this culture who says you need to look a certain way, be a certain weight, and then again recreating that relationship, you will live a life no matter where you're at, And maybe I was doing testimonial with a client and I got tearful because I'm like, you're 63 and now you get to live the rest of your days with this body respect that we've created doing this work together. And like, it made me feel really good being able to provide that for her. Obviously she had to do the work.
Support.
To support her
and guide.
So in the next, 20, 30, 40 years of her life, she doesn't have to live the way she did before. Right. And she's very thankful for that. So that's what I got.
Wrap it up, sister.
Wrap it up. All right. If you like what you hear, you can follow us on Instagram. Our main page is Mindset of Matter Coaching. Amanda's page is
fitbyamanda.az.
You'll also find the recordings of this on YouTube at The Mindset of Matter, as well as TikTok at The Mindset of Matter. And if you're interested in coaching with us and recreating your relationship with your body and body image, you can find the Clarity Call link below. And that will get a call with one of us so that you get to meet us and we get to talk. It's so funny. People are like, I feel like you're a celebrity. I'm like,
am I?
But I think that's all the
hang on. I do feel like a celebrity because one of my clients, I was texting her and she's in Jersey right now. And she goes, oh yeah, I saw my brother's girlfriend and she follows you on Instagram. And I was talking and she goes, oh, Amanda, the trainer, is pregnant now. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yes. We have had women be like, I listen to Mind Pump. I love those guys, but it's been so refreshing.
Really?
Yes.
Aww,
I
thank you.
Mark.
Thank you for sharing that.
Well, you shared the one gal that reached out to you. Like, it's been awesome. It's kind of crazy because I feel like we're tapping into something that I thought was already there. But Mark and I were talking about it. It was like, no, because if you think about the women, and number one, you guys, I looked at the charts. Top 10 are men. Top 10. I think seriously? Dr. Gabrielle Lyons, I think, is the first female in the top 10. But hers
is hard to listen to because it's so sciencey sometimes.
Well, that's what Mark and I were talking about.
And a lot of people get lost in that. Yes. Because I like science, but sometimes I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we're talking about. If you are female in this podcast space, like, it's mainly scientific. Rhonda Patrick. Sarah not Gottlieb.
Gottfried.
Yeah, yes.
She has a podcast?
I think so. I looked at them.
Okay.
But it can be very niche too, of like, this is all I focus on. I focus on just menopause. Like a lot of them are
hacky too.
Yes. We're not doing that. We just talk about our shit and how to fix your head. So thank you for the feedback. Please share this with people. I know I say this at the end. Please share this with the women in your lives that could use this, because we want to share our message as much as possible. And
good message.
We want to always remind you that
what you say in the mind,
you see in the mirror.
Toodles!